What the fuck is up, party people? My name is Mystery, and welcome back to another episode of the FBL Podcast. And once again, I'm not joined by my co-host Nick because he cannot commit to anything worth the shit. So today I am joined with a first-time guest, I believe. Maybe you were on in previous seasons, but first time at least this season, Captain Slinky. Say hello.
Oh, I was on last season, but I'm
You were.
not this season because you hate VGC.
Okay, it's not that I hate VGC, it's that I don't know anything about VGC, and I'm not going to pretend to. So I'm not going to waste your time, but we will be covering one VGC match in this episode because your boy over here decided to pick up a big dub versus undefeated Jamaica. So we'll get to that later, but for now, let's hop into the D1 games. As you can see, Harris remains the only undefeated team in D1, followed by Theo at 5-1.
Right, plus 29.
Yeah, more than double of what Theo's got, so love that. Will picks up another win, so does James, I believe. Actually, no, he might have lost this week.
I think James picked up a win this week technically because forfeit loss.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's what it was. Nova, I believe, picks up a W. I pick up a W. Love to see it, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So we'll start with, obviously, James had the forfeit win versus him. We're not going to do me right away. We will go to Nintega versus Theo. This is like a surprisingly good game. I think Nintega played Theo's like offensive threats super, super well. Like Volcarona switch-ins did not exist on the whole team, and that Volcarona really wasn't able to do a whole lot the whole game. So yeah, I'll let that play. But you know Theo pretty well, Slink. Is there anything you want to say going into this?
Not really.
Yeah.
The sad part is I just watched this and I barely remember what happened.
Basically, I know Theo's game plan going into this. It was U-turn, Volcarona, not Quiver Dance. And so the goal was hit things and get out because he felt like so much on his team could revenge him. Like if it was Scarf Ground with Rock Slide, that sort of thing. So the whole goal was, just, bait out stuff, U-turn, get damage. But the Crobat kind of was annoying for him. And then just so much speed on Nintega's team, it was definitely tough for Theo to deal with. Gets the Willow on Zera. And then right here, so Plasma Fist, obviously, it makes all normal moves electric. He gets the Pain Split and recovers. So that, that's super cool. And then I did
not know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know Pain Split worked like that. Baits the knockoff into Gallade, takes nothing, and then there's a +1 Gallade on the field. Triple Axles. I was expecting Rocky Helmet on Slowking. It was not. It was, I believe, Culperberry, that's right. And live, but he teleported, and it's like, And then also dual Wing Beat Bring versus Mudsdale team is kind of weird. It's nice if it's like sub-bulk, but that's about it. Brings my favorite set in the world, SmackDown EQ. No switch-in whatsoever. It's basically just forced out the Slowking die at this point. I think this is a little risky. If the Slowking was like speed invested a little bit, because 174 and then 185. If that had a little bit of speed, he could have fucked him up. So
yeah,
I don't know. Oh, and then here we go. So no Ferrothorn. So he brought Sunny Day Weather Ball for the Pharaoh, but it was not here. Look how much that did. 21. That's solid chip. I won't lie.
That is a fat fairy.
But we'll put it on hyper fast because this does kind of go on. That did so much in the sun, by the way. 92 to a Crobat. Smacks him down again. And,
well, I mean, it is a Volcarona.
Yeah. Misses the Toxic and Aromatisse. That really sucks.
Yeah.
But does put up his rocks again. Zong took 53 from Dark Pulse, and it was Scarf Gren, and so Nintega decided not to go for the roll. At this point, I thought it was looking kind of rough for Theo. I'm like, I'm not sure how exactly he's going to break the Aromatisse because, like, I don't know. It was no Steel Move Zong, so I'm like, this shit looks rough. He gets 2 high roll Grass Knots in a row to kill the Mudsdale, so it's like, of course. But this Volk came in on Aromatisse every time. Gets a kill, finally. Zong goes down. Gallade puts a ton of pressure on the entire team. He just needed to come in. Aromatisse goes down. And then this is where I thought the beat just won, because I'm like, he does enough to everybody to kill. He's in with the B again, just Poison Jab, but he gets the burn. And but here's the thing too.
Body.
It was
Flame
Facade.
Body, my old nemesis. Wait,
True.
He had Facade and he didn't click it?
He was Facade beat drill and he didn't click it.
That would have won the game.
Yeah. Maybe Poison Jab. No, there's no way Poison Jab did more, even with adaptability.
Even with adaptability, there's no way Poison Jab out damages Facade if you're burned.
Because that's 140 power, and then
it's 140 power versus 80.
Yeah, you're right. Well, and Facade ignores the attack drop, so
they actually changed it. It's not an attack drop; it just halves the base power of the move.
Really? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a throw. Like, he actually had Facade because he said he didn't know what move to put on, and then didn't click it, and that's the game. So I think Theo really, he escaped.
Realistically,
definitely could have lost this.
Could have lost.
Yeah. So I mean, Theo will take it.
Depends on. Well, actually, yeah, no. It depends on what set the Haxorus was. If it was Scarf or if it was just Dragon Dance.
Mm-hmm, for sure. It was, I believe. Oh, it was Adrenaline Orb SD because there was no Landers either, which, okay, kind of odd. Then for one of the most shocking games, I think, just of the season in general, Nova upsets Jamal. Like, I know this is not Jamal's season, but
Jamal's been having a rough time.
I don't think anyone expected this. Misses the Heat Wave first turn.
Of course. Miss the Heat Wave versus the Bug type, just classic things.
Just typical. Toxic Drill, really good versus Vaporeon teams. And then this Croak was kind of cool because it could just nasty plot and then fuck something up. Shadow Ball does a shit ton. And then it was, I believe, it was Thunder Wave, not a psychic move. And that did 53,
Jesus.
Bro.
That did 53 to a Garchomp.
Like, resisted Sludge Wave did almost as much as what was it? Fucking super effective Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball versus to a DOD.
I do think he kind of let this Kang take a lot of damage, which was a little sus for the Blacephalon. I think he had Wish. I believe. I'm trying to remember the top of my head. Also, low rolls the Earthquake, or the he low rolled the Earthquake, and Vaporeon got a Scald off. Did not burn. Gets the Ice Punch read, freezes the Togekiss, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't really matter because, like, what was he going to switch into it?
Anytime I see a Togekiss get hacked, I'm happy.
Yeah, he was.
I don't like Togekiss as a rule based on how many times I've gotten flinched down by Air Slash.
I mean, that's fair. And then right here, 1, 2. And that Heat Wave.
Can Scale Shot hit more than twice? Because I haven't seen it this season.
I'm trying to think of once I think Kyle's hit 3 times. I don't know, man.
Scale Shot does not hit more than twice.
It's just
it's a 2 to 5 hit move.
People say that move's broken. I'm like, yeah, if that move could hit 4 times, it would be broken. If you could even hit 3 times every time, it would be broken. But it's just so often.
Twice every time.
Also, he got a high roll on the what was it? Who was Nitro? Oh, it was on the Meta Chain. That's what it was. Yeah, he got a high roll and killed that. And then at this point, I believe he was just going for Para on the Gara. Ooh, that rhymed. Bars. And then he
crit EQ.
And that's the game. It was. I don't know, man. Obviously, this is not Jamal's season. He's got some transactions we can talk about. But, let's keep her moving to just... I'm going to put this one hyper fast. This game was long. It was kind of boring.
Forever.
Not trying to be mean, Will, but, yeah, your games take forever. And it doesn't help Robert also. His team is very, like... you're looking at... He's got Clef, Gliscor, Kyurem, Jirachi. Mons that just... don't exactly die super easily. Also, where was the rapid spin on this thing? Because I watched these rocks go up and then never leave the field for like fucking 25 turns at least. This was going on during the Bucks. Bucks over the Suns in 6. But I was watching this one on my phone, so, shout out to me. I still care about the league. And this fucking Klefki just stayed in so often, just got spikes up. It just was a complete fucking nuisance for Robert. I do like the poison jab on Dino Queen for Calm Mind Clef. That's a good tech. I like that a lot. But Slink, did you watch this one live?
I did.
Okay.
Well, parts of it.
What were you thinking while this was going on?
I was thinking it's like if you can figure out. Well, I tuned in after, we'll see in a bit what's going on.
This fucking Zarude, dude. We get to hear a lot about that. But then sets up in front of the... Didn't this...
The roar, the thing that just used roar.
Yeah, like, I will never understand those people. Even if you think they're gonna like switch out, why is that your choice? Always is to fucking set up in front of it again.
It's like power whip,
right? Yeah, the only switching is what, Salamence and kind of Klefki, but it's already somewhat low. I don't know.
Klefki doesn't take hits very well unless it's behind screens.
And these, never even rapid spin. Yeah, maybe he didn't have it, but God, that looks kind of rough on the team that's mono weak to fucking rocks.
Yeah, well, he's not mono weak to rocks. He has the Jirachi right there.
True.
Now Spikes, on the other hand,
got 3 layers of spikes and rocks. And then wait, hold up. We got to go back, actually. We got to go back to the earthquaking.
Yeah, the earthquake,
No, I think this one, he earthquakes here, and that's fine. And then he does it again this turn.
Yeah, he earthquakes again.
What the fuck was that? Why didn't you just toxic? What the fuck?
Like, I don't know what... he says there was a reason. I don't know what the reason is for earthquaking a flying type.
And then sacks it this time. That's what I think. That's why that play... You were asking me before why that play is bad. Because he roosted... with he was in with Gliscor and roosted on the Dragon Dance, and then the turn that, like, it's more likely because the toxic damage starting to rack up, he's gonna attack you, go and sack. It's just that I think that was way out of whack, like the turns that he was picking to do that.
But it's one of those things where at that point he needed a sack.
Yeah,
so
but
I guess bring this in.
He could have stayed in. I don't think Gliscor drops to, like, we're gonna see. Oh, we don't see right here. I don't think it drops to 1. Does it? No, he doesn't even risk it. Okay. Dual Wing Beat. That might...
that would have done it.
I don't know, because it's the same power as Dragon Claw.
It would have done a lot. It would have done it... I would have say at least 80.
Yeah. And he's Magic Guard Clef versus the Salamence team. I'm not a huge fan of that. I know it helped him because there was 45 million layers up, but that's more of an indictment of Robert's building than, you know... I don't know. I don't think Robert built a very solid team for this one. It's just not great overall.
It's like, I'm gonna say, it's like you know Will likes to set up.
Every Pokemon is gonna set up.
Why didn't you bring the Unaware?
Yeah. Yeah, right. If you draft Clef and you're playing fucking, Will, like the king, exactly what Slink was saying. That's spot on. If you're playing Will, why not just run Unaware? Like, he brings set up on everything he can. I don't know. Like I said, just not a great overall build. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, this was kind of weird why he went to Clef. I don't know why he didn't just go Nidoqueen. I guess, he could Calm Mind up and be a little weird with it, but at this point it was pretty much over. He gets the good double there, and I think, it just ends it. Yeah, you could see, on the recording, you probably won't be able to see Kyle going crazy in the chat. But yeah, this game was just odd. Gets the fucking burn on Flamethrower. Makes this a little bit more difficult than it had to be. But gets the para, and that's the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a terrifically played game on either side. I think Will definitely played much better than Robert, but nothing fantastic overall. What were you saying?
I was saying, I'm wondering at what health the Lop was at, because was there any reason to click Flamethrower or click Moonblast that late in the game?
On the Lopunny?
Just in general, because it's like Flamethrower. Yeah, I know it didn't. Oh no, it didn't kill. But...
No, it didn't. Yeah, I don't know. But we're gonna move on to Eon's return to D1. Harris is continuing to stomp through D1. And let's talk about it. So, I don't think Eon played awful in this game. For the fact he had a Jolteon and a Talonflame, he has a bunch of, just... This team's weird. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I already, played the Carboni slots so I don't have to play Eon, because this team is kind of a bitch to prep for. So, yeah.
Seems like it's a really weird team.
Jolteon is kind of cool, in this game. He did some stuff. I thought Eon played pretty solid overall. That's right, he does get the toxic off. Hold on, I have to try and remember this game. I don't know. It's another game of Harris just kind of playing to his strengths. This Manaphy was kind of tough for him. Wow, it's a 61 with knockoff.
Big knockoff.
I love this Pokemon. I think, Eon did a really good job, though, of keeping shit healthy and preserve Toxic. Great for the Rotom, because obviously you have nothing to hit it otherwise. I guess you could do Rain Dance, Weather Ball, but, not great. And, yeah, overall, I don't, playing Harris, best team in the league, couldn't ask for a whole lot more.
He took out 2 Mons, which is more than any of the last 3 people have done.
Yeah, he got 2 more Mons than Nick. He got 2 more Mons than who the fuck else did he play?
No, but I know he was sitting on 3 6-0s in a row.
Yeah, and then he gets the very that poison sucks ass, because Harris would have been scrambling.
Is really unfortunate
because he had a Sackabalion. Like, this Manaphy, if he didn't get poisoned, was tough, and then it still lives, the fucking sucker. That's insane to me. Like, that's actually crazy. And at this point, I'm thinking, wait a minute, he's kind of doing stuff here. This Slowbro is still a bitch, though. It's just
it's a Slowbro. It's gonna do what Slowbros do.
I love the DD Toxic, though, because if he could just get this thing chipped down a little bit, he definitely had a chance in this game. I think he rushed it, though. Oh, he did teleport. I mean, I don't know. I think I would have subbed again, to be honest. Maybe that's a little hindsighty. And then Harris brought this weird bulk up Chesto acrobatics that I told him beforehand. I'm like, this is heat, but bro, if it doesn't work, you're going to be so fucked. And I think Eon took way too long to click Toxic on this thing. I know it ended up being Rest, but if he clicked Toxic earlier, he probably could have dealt with it a little bit better. So, but yeah, he's forced to.
I thought the Torn set was cool.
It definitely is cool, but I think you have to really plan ahead, and Harris is great at that, so I won't obviously not criticizing in that sense, but more along the lines of you have to be perfect on how you set it up, because if you don't ever get a chance to rest, then it's oh fuck, this is kind of bad, because you can't click your Flying Stab to do a whole lot. I know you're bulk up so you can power up, but you get my drift. Jolteon put it in the absolute finest, like I said, kind of underrated. That did fucking nothing. I know it's a Rotom Heat, but fuck, dude, come on. And then, is this where Slowking
the rest of this is just Slowking is just Lean King being Lean King.
So I'm gonna just keep skipping turns. Look, Harris, you're mad that we're not breaking down your games more. We broke down all of that, okay? I'm not gonna watch a Slowking do all this shit.
I'm not even gonna say that the poisons were super unlucky. You used all of your Sludge Bombs and got 3 poisons.
Yeah, but that one on the Manaphy really sucks. That is huge.
Like I said, he used 16 Sludge Bombs and got 3 poisons. That's actually lower than what it says it should be.
No, it again, the odds don't seem like it was that great. It's the timeliness of them. And Harris acknowledges that in the match.
Yeah, the timing was unlucky, but
for sure. And then what do we have? Do we just have? Is it just me?
I think so.
Yeah, because there's no James and Nick. We already went Ninteka, Nova, Robert, Theo, Will, Jamal. Yeah, it's just me and Kyle. So I think this was probably game of the week in terms of
that game. That before we get into this Cinderace.
Bro, yeah, shout out to Kyle, bro. I know we've had our differences and our whatever. I respect the hell out of you as a battler, bro. You're definitely super, super talented. You're fucking insane to prep for, because you pull some shit out of your ass every week that I'm never ready for. And this Cinderace was different. You almost did it to me with my own Mon, and yeah, let's talk about it.
You got bailed out by my boy.
I went to Suicune here because I was expecting the Willow. He taunts me, and I'm like, that's kind of whatever. I was doubling to see if he had Toxic. And so I had Steel Roller Aggron. He did not expect this. He taunted me expecting rocks, and I, hit him with the crit. But fuck, dude, that did so much. Thundurus was so good here. I just needed a chip on Garchomp to put him in range. I'm actually gonna put this on normal since this is my game. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more. I just needed. Well, true, yeah. I just needed chip on the Garchomp, because +2 Focus Blast from Thundurus, at least from my calc, I was like, I think I just can do work here. So, and then again, the Wheezing for Weavile to win later, I just needed a little bit of chip right there. I was perfectly fine letting Gligar take any hit, he willows me, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm going to just put up my rocks. Actually, no, I U-turned. Oh, I do that later. Never mind. But bro, all right, I'm like, there's no way this Feeny stays in right now. I'm clicking Nasty Plot. It's time. He has to be full spit F fucking type Nola to live this shit.
You missed.
Bro, he roars. Oh, this is where Gligar comes in. I get my rocks up. And Gligar goes down. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Everybody loves Focus Miss.
And then here I was very torn on clicking SD. I eventually did because I'm like, I just can't see him staying and to let the Chomp die. So I get that off. Knockoff just obliterates the Weezing. I was honestly expecting it to kind of live. I didn't even think about clicking Triple Axle because of Rocky Helmet. I find out he's max Fizz Duff, so the Focus Blast absolutely would have killed. And he gets max roll, by the way. Absolute max roll U-turn to kill me. And yeah, Weavile goes down. I Dark Pulse because I'm kind of forced to. I can't let the Aegislash like sub on me and shit. Shadow Ball. Thundurus kind of eats it, I won't lie. And then takes a Shadow Sneak as well. So shout out to Thundy. And then I made a pretty shit play this turn, I won't lie. I stayed in because I was like, I don't want him to SD and Skill Shot and beat me. But he misses Aqua Tail. To be fair, I missed the Focus Blast and kills were taken off the board with that. But at this point, it's relatively even. I double expecting him to either switch or Earthquake. I do get the EQ. And I was like, fuck it, I can't switch into this thing again. I just need to land Focus Blast. Actually get it. I'm like, Pog.
Oh, God, Cinderace.
I was Phantom Force, so I expected, I'm like, I wall Cinderace because he can't sucker me. And he was Sunny Day, Bulk Up, Flame Charge, Pyro Ball.
Pyro Ball.
Gets the... I just barely put him in Blaze range. He gets +1 Sun boosted, Blaze boosted, and then he's Weakness Policy, and I'm like, bro, I just got my shit clapped. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Insane. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if anybody's gonna live this, it's Aggron. Sun goes down, lives it. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Aggron just took that. +3 Blaze boosted Cinderace Flame Charge did not kill. Titanol Pursuits just in case, and that's the whole game. Yeah, it's kind of insane. I have no words. A hell of a game, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to Kyle. That was a really cool set. I'm gonna have to keep that one in mind. So yeah,
Use it next time.
Do you want to pull up the D1 transactions? Because there was quite a few of them. We've already talked about the Eon transact, like the moves he made over Carboni's team. So pretty sure anything after that.
I can pull up transactions.
Appreciate it.
It was D1 transactions, and it's after the 15th.
I believe, yeah.
All right, so Harris dropped
this one league changing.
Yeah, Clefairy and Grotle, and picked up Lapras and Maractus.
It's a pretty neutral move. Maractus gives him spikes. He gets 2 more water switch-ins, which I guess, looking at the Manaphy thing maybe makes sense.
Yeah.
So cool. It's not something I think is like game-breaking, but it's probably a little bit better, seeing as Harris did it. So, it's cool. Nothing crazy there for sure.
Next changes were from Jamal.
Ah, that's right.
Who dropped Mega Medi, Comfey, and Sliggoo. Unfortunate from Sliggoo. For Mega Alt, Amoonguss, and Machoke.
My guy Machoke. I'm built like that.
Yeah. Are you?
Anyway, Jamal's kind of doing the same thing I did. He just really wanted to try Mega Alt and kind of packing it in on the season. Like, he's definitely not out of it by any means. 2-4 is not impossible to come back from.
But he's having a rough season.
Yeah, because he still plays. James could beat him. Will could beat him. Nick is Eon. I think he always plays bad in the first 10 turns versus Eon, but usually wins. And then Theo. So there's just games he could lose. But realistically, he's got a shot. Would you be shocked to look up and see he finished 6-5? No, exactly. So it's I don't know. I think it's definitely pretty neutral. Maybe a little bit worse because it's I don't know. It's a super weird transaction. Your speed gets even worse.
Having returned does make it a whole lot better.
Yeah, but it's like now you're double dragon, you're double grass poison. Like it's just a lot of duplicate typings in this team. To be fair, you were double psychic with Deoxys.
When is Gloom coming to a game?
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
He has a better absorber. He has Regenerator Mon. He has Spore.
It's more or less that like the Mon is there, and something that could be useful to the team isn't. And to be, he was out of transactions. I'm not criticizing him on that. I'm just saying in general that overall the team isn't amazing. But I wouldn't be shocked to say like to look up and see Jamal is like the 7th seed entering week 11 with a chance to make it. He just has to beat Theo. Like that wouldn't shock me. So yeah, by no means is he done. And then do we have any other ones for D1?
No, I think it's just those two.
Okay, yeah, it was a pretty quiet.
I see our Carboni transforming into Eon.
Yeah, it was like I was gonna say. It was a pretty quiet transaction period in D1. D2 we'll get to later. Was not. There's so much that happened.
D2 has some changes.
There are so many. But first, we're gonna start with, of course, the weekly Aaron loss. At this point, it is becoming slightly comical, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but it's like, how is this team 0-6? It is worse now, and Aaron probably should have won this game, but this was the Mudsdale game. This was the Mew game, and yeah, it takes really long. I'm gonna be honest. We're gonna skip through a lot of this game because it is so fucking long with how like Credilli was kind of annoying. Sylveon took like 8 years for him to kill. Him being Noah.
He brought Scizor in so many times to dodge so many burns.
Like I said in the battle at one point, I'm like, I've never seen a Scizor switch into so many Scalds. And consistently either, like, I don't know, it's just why. He's putting it in so much danger all the fucking time. It's so frustrating. But this Sylveon sits in front of this Mudsdale forever. We eventually get to Sylveon Rotom.
Like, when he brought it in against the Kamoa, which it's like, that gets Flamethrower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it gets Flamethrower, it gets Fire Punch. Why are you bringing in your 4 times weak to Firemon against a Dragon? Dragons are known for breathing fire.
Well, especially in Draft League, yeah, they're definitely known for carrying fire coverage versus Scizor teams. I don't think he knows how to use Scizor from when I'm looking at it. I feel like he's trying to do too much and he expects it to live everything, and it's not like, yeah.
It's either your bulky defog option or it's a late game cleaner.
I think it can be like mid game with like Pursuit and Knockoff. Like it has different options like that, but I definitely don't disagree that, like, especially if you're trying to learn how to use Scizor, you should try to, put it into more favorable positions for you. Also, this Pinsir Hydreigon, like, back and forth for a little bit there was weird. Only mono quick attack Pinsir. Oh, yeah, I put in the chat there, I've never seen a Scizor better at avoiding burn because he switches it into so many Scalds. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. And then at this point, it was, I'm pretty sure, just over.
Wins.
I do think Noah BM'd a little bit. I'm going to, maybe some people disagree, but just end the game. Like, he's sitting there doing 70% liquidation. You're giving yourself a chance to lose. And 76 turn Mew sweep. That's the game. Aaron drops to 0-6. Blue picked up a very close 1-0 win. Unfortunately, Paul could not pick up his first win. Anything you want to say, Slink? Because we haven't heard a ton from you yet.
I'm just along for the ride, kind of watching these as they go.
Dodges the stun spore.
I'm a fantastic guest.
Love to see it. Dodges the stun spore into dodging T-Wave was great. Really love that.
We know how much you like to hear yourself talk.
Yeah, I mean, I am one of the greatest commentators, I think, to ever touch this platform, if we're keeping it real. I'm really a big, I think this Calm Mindset sucks for Heliolisk because it's, you're basically just giving Heliolisk a free in every single time.
Yeah.
Versus Helio teams, if you have Suicune, I like to run, Specs Ice Beat, just Specs in general, and try to hit it really hard because just punish it for trying to come in on you for free. And, or Mirror Coat with Wakan Berry, that kind of stuff. But this fucking game, it was just I felt like Paul had so many opportunities to grab it, and he did get paralyzed there, which sucks ass. That did so much. And then he was charge beam for no fucking reason. And just such a weird... This game was just weird. It really was. And that doesn't even kill.
It doesn't matter because I think it's unworkable fable. Is it unworkable fable?
I think so, because that Hyper Voice earlier did 54. There's no way.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
come on.
unworkable fable. And then he got paralyzed again.
Yeah. And then this Sliggoo put in the finest. I know that. Does eventually Ice Beam him, but does not matter because Dry Skin puts him out of range of another one. He scalds for quite literally no reason. Basically giving this Helios new life. Gets the Charge Beam boost again. Swords Dance, that was a heat, by the way. It was Swords Dance in front of the Helios. Dodges Stun Spore. I'm like, Pog, he's got a shit to win, or a chance to win. And then, what is it? Does Pelipper? Yeah, he drops the T-Punch, and then he goes, what? I think Diane. No, Kabutops, because he got the rain up.
Yeah.
And then he misses, I believe he misses a move late. Or no, it was the Stun Spore. That's what he was, Blue was complaining about in match discussion, was that he missed the Stun Spore on the Glade, which is fair. He was still winning Crobat. I'm like, Pog, wait a minute. But he was locked in, and
is it Banded Crobat?
And then he was Scarf, Rotom, but he just did not have enough to kill the Sliggoo. That's the game. So, very close match. And obviously wouldn't have been as close if he doesn't dodge Stun Spore. But
He doesn't dodge Stun Spore, yeah.
For
Because
sure.
that would have just been Pelipper clicks Hurricane and dead Gallade.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then let's go to the Chris Steph game, bro. This shit was weird.
What the hell happened here?
Steph had Kyurem, and there was legitimately no Freeze Dry plus Earth Power switch in. Like, it just did not exist. And he found a way to lose this 3-0.
I watched this game live, and I'm pretty sure you, me, and...
Yeah, there was a
I think
ton of
Brady-
people in call for this one.
You, me, and Brady were in call for this one. Or was it... No, I think
No,
it was like you, me, Brady, Harris... Like, just everybody.
Yeah, fucking the whole
all
FBL.
in call and just, like, struggling.
This is Zapdos put in the finest, too, if he could deal with Rotom and kind of Comfey.
Mm-hmm.
And he was toxic, so I'm like, oh, this shit wins. I'm like, there's, like, if he can feel, like, out how to deal with that, or with the Kyurem, I'm like, this is fine. But I don't think Steph played nearly aggressive enough. He did go hard fucking Gengar on Zapdos. That's not what I mean by aggressive. That's just bad.
Just taking... Yeah, it's just, I believe we said in chat, that's not a flying resist. You have a Rotom Heat.
Yeah, there was no reason ever to go Gengar there. Gets frozen.
Thaws out.
Yeah, just raw thaws out Beast. Like, that's such a fucking Chris thing to do. It's just like, I'm gonna unthaw right now, easy.
I don't care. I think it happened twice.
Yeah, it did. Catches a Draco and dies. I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of rough. But this Nihilego should have done so much more work than it did, because Rock Resist was no one until Lopunny Mega Evolved, and that's, Lopunny. Yeah. So, not a whole lot. Spidef Swampert, though, put in the fucking finest.
Why is the Swampert named Yugoslavian Warts? I never got an answer to that.
I think we just go with the flow. That did 40, and then gets the freeze again, and then we're all like, stay in. He does. Fucking, I'm popping off at this point. Pursuit traps the Kyurem, which I thought was weird because rocks were up and you saw it wasn't boots. So I feel like you're kind of fine with it. I guess that's kind of good though, because like if he gets it in on like Swampert, then you lose another Pokemon. So honestly, I'm kind of okay with it. Horrible Willow on his part. I feel like I don't know. I feel like you just switch out, because once he's burned, there's not really a whole lot he can do to you. Does Triple Axle.
Triple Axle against a Rotom Heat.
Which is, whatever. Goes to Zap, does not get the para here, but Steph decides it's time to try and win. Gets the crit, gets parried. It's like, okay, yeah. I mean, look, you're clicking Triple Axle on a Zapdos. It's probably going to happen. But it was Quick Attack, and I'm like, no!
Like...
Unfucking believable.
That was wild.
And the whole turn of events. As Chris says, it's because he's Grease Lightning. Yeah. Zapdos put in the fucking finest. Like I said, this Mon went in this game, and it's pretty much just healing, and then Zapdos. Yeah, by the way, that would have done 71 earlier to that Gengar. Does go Spidef Swamp. I believe he puts up the rocks here. Oh, no, he does flip turn. Okay. I remember,
Turns out.
But he did, bro. I was expecting body press slow, bro, and then no, it's just Scald. But somehow lived the knockoff.
Boots slow, bro. Why?
Also, he probably should have sacked the Zapdos there because Alt could live one of anything. But then this gets, bro.
Ushard doesn't kill, and he gets the full para.
So Steph should have honestly won this game. I mean,
yeah,
because Swamp definitely lived any one Gengar hit.
Like Taylor says, you threw your game and you say bless.
Curse the Beast, bro. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it would have been a 2-0 because Swampert outspeed because it was parried. And then I think he lives anything from Gengar and could just kill it back. So yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a fucking game. I'll say that. It was something.
That was one of those games where it's like that was a roller coaster, and I did not like being on it.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get to my boy. I forgot he played Brady this week. So Tay versus Brady.
4-0-ing Tay.
Yo. Shout out to Brady, bro. All right, because this matchup was not great. All right, Charizard ate his ass. Garchomp ate his ass. You know, it was a little rough.
Like, I think you and me were both prepping with him, and before going into this match, I thought the Slowking was Rindo because that's what we had prepped it as.
He messaged me before the game, and he was like, "I think AV's better because it gives me more than one chance versus Zard." And I'm like, "I don't think you're wrong." And I was like, "Do whatever you think is right." And he went AV because he's like, he's like, "I think it gives me more than one chance."
And then it just eats, and then clicks Power Gem in this 82.
Flamethrower, this 43, he gets the burn. I'm like, bro, that fucking sucks. Because then he goes Focus Blast, gets the crit. He needed burn crit, by the way, to kill that Porygon. So
yeah,
frustrating. Then he's fine with staying in because he's Shucka. So they trade berries, and then it's Calm Mind Coco. I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna do something. Fucking nothing to Shuckle. It does get full para.
You don't fuckle with the Shuckle.
You definitely do not fuckle with the Shuckle, bro. Imagine it was sub right there. This game was over.
If it was, I was gonna say, if it was sub CM Coco, then yeah,
the game was a wrap.
Is what resists both Dazzling Gleam and
Nothing.
Thunderbolt on this team?
Well, Cart.
What actually resists both Thunderbolt and Dazzling Gleam on this team?
Man. He does get up his rocks though, and then
its physical defense is good, Mystery. I will give you that, but its special defense is, it doesn't exist.
He does go Moltres trying to get the burn, and I like that Brady decided he's like, webs don't hurt me really all that much, other than Coco being slower, but rocks are really good because it keeps Moltres from coming to the game. He does get the crit, which kind of mattered, kind of doesn't, because it was banned, or was it banded? I believe it was banded. Yeah, I think so. And then this cart comes in, takes 55 from resisted Dazzling Gleam.
From an unboosted Dazzling
But then he's defog cart. I'm like, oh fuck, that's kind of insane. So Brady at this point, yeah, he gets into Slow King. I'm like, oh, he lives one on anything. This is fine. Lives a crit. I'm like, I was fucking freaking out. I'm like, how? How did that live? And then Tay forfeits, which
you could have gotten some kind of.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could have gotten a differential. You could have gotten a differential.
Because what if Brady was just like afraid of going hard Lando and decided to keep Slow King in or something?
Hard Lando because you had I don't know, Ice Fang or some shit.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get Ice Fang, but
does it not?
No, it only gets Fire Fang and might get Thunder Fang, but I know it doesn't get Ice Fang. But even Bandit Outrage is still gonna do a lot. So sure. Yeah, not a huge fan, but hey, shout out to Brady, bro, because that was a huge dub. I won't lie.
Yep.
And then. Do we have what? We have 2 games left. Let's go to Taylor Hero.
Hero Taylor, where Taylor just brings in Mega Venu and just sits there.
He brought one thing to kill Venusaur on the entire team, and it was Talonflame.
Talonflame got put to sleep.
Talonflame got put to sleep on the 5th turn of the game or some shit. It was early.
Yeah, it got put to sleep super early, and from then it was just Taylor riding waves to victory.
Yeah, here it is. And
turn 3. And then Sludge Bomb does what, 59? Yeah, 59.
what I want to say really though is like I think this build sucked for Hero, and I know he's on vacation, so I'm not gonna like go too hard on him. But like Lickitung had no purpose here. Aromatisse was literally just Venusaur fodder. Like where's the Rillaboom? Where's like Aggron? Where are all of them?
I was so surprised. Like, yes, I know it gets like Earth Power, but if Taylor does not bring Earth Power on Mega Venu, Mega Aggron just sits there.
It also takes under half. It can run Spadef and eat hits, and
yeah, it could run like Spadef Metal Burst.
He also could have went Spadef Talonflame, but
True.
And then we see DD Lottie, so that finally shows up. That's cool. Dueling Beat.
And I know I'm gonna get shit for saying use Metal Burst Aggron, but have you tried Metal Burst Aggron?
You used it once, right?
Yeah, I used it against Tay last season because it was like, all right, if I stay regular and he flamethrowers my Aggron, I can Metal Burst and kill the Zard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of cool. I won't lie. It was fun for Taylor. I'm sure he enjoyed the 6-0 and 18 turns. I did not enjoy watching because this game sucked ass.
I will say, we did probably get on him a little too much in match discussion.
Absolutely.
But the entire thing was like he loses to Dragapult, and if he was clear body D-Dance Dragapult, parting shot's not going to do you any favors.
But look, I just want to, I'm just going to do this. I know we already talked about this personally, look at this team.
I'm going to go right now and apologize to Taylor. Yeah, we were a little harsh on you.
Yeah, I'm. You're the bigger. We appreciate that.
There's just like you can't expect everything to just flawlessly work.
Yeah, because it's draft league. Because it just won't.
It's gonna screw you.
But now, all right, the moment you all have been waiting for. All right, I've been. We're taking off the shirt. All right, it's time. We've been waiting for this moment for so long, and I just got one thing to say to y'all. All right, I just got one thing to say. And that's all I gotta say. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's fucking go. This is
actually a really hard play for Buxton from early on because you look at James' team and he has not a whole lot to deal with Heatran.
No, I don't disagree.
He made a really good play with Celesteela, and it's like, all right, suddenly Buxton's playing from the back.
This Pangoro was a little tough for him as well, but he does just go to Milotic, and that is like a pretty decent soft check. Gets the burn on Crest. That actually sucks complete ass because it's like
he has Toxic on Zygarde.
Yeah, and so now he cannot Toxic Crest. So that really sucks. I think that play from Buxton sucked. I know he must have been expecting it like an Ice Shard and didn't want to take damage with B, but bro, just U-turn on the Pillow Swine and get like 30% at least because it's Beedrill. Like I love Pillow Swine, but it's fucking Beedrill. That mon hits like a fucking truck. So not a huge fan of that because it then gets up his rocks.
Yeah. I was going to say it actually mattered in the long run because if you took probably 50 from an Ice Shard. Just keep in mind, Mega Beedrill has no defense.
I don't think it took 50. I feel like maybe 30, maybe.
And if it takes that 30, it doesn't come in the last time.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. But... I feel like there's also other plays.
Dragon Tail Milo
was so huge. It was so huge. He originally wanted to bring Haze, and then we changed it to Dragon Tail.
This is how we deal with Zardex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't let it set up and then just have one soft check for it. It's kind of crazy concept, but
Yeah, that's been the story of Gun's entire season is that people don't know how to handle Zardex. Which, I mean, granted, it's a hard mon to deal with.
Especially in D, it gets the D2 buff. It's like Volcarona, that sort of thing, where it's people just don't know. This Earthquake was a good play. As much as I don't like guns, that's a good play.
D3 last season, and my Volcarona did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but you also had a Torrentine and a Urshifu. Like, he was a background character. He was not...
He really was.
He was not the focus of that team. He was a
background character that gets his ass kicked to make the main character look stronger.
Exactly.
Which was Urshifu Aggron.
Torrentine. Your team last season kind of nuts.
It was
kind of crazy. But yeah, he has to fucking deal with this Pillow Swine. I was not a huge fan of that second recover, or really just the first recover in general, just because Toxic is racking up, but he does get the crit EQ, so that sucks.
Yeah,
because that basically negates the, what is it called, Marvel Scale. Lands the Hurricane, beast, absolute beast. Takes almost nothing from Ice Beam. I'm like, all right, it's time. Let's get the flinch. No, but does not die. I'm like, okay, you know what? Torrent's got new life. It's time.
It's still killing. It's still gonna kill the.
But then here,
then the hypnosis circuitry makes its comeback.
And it's here again. Tail glows. I'm like, wake the fuck up. Does not. I'm like, oh, here we go again.
Does not wake up.
But B
then,
just
Mega Beedrill being Mega Beedrill just says, "I punch no."
And then it was Scarf Pangoro.
This
play sucked. This play sucked.
You and me both thought this was a huge misplay because it's like if you U-turn there, you still live one more round of rocks.
Yeah, if you U-turn here, you do what? Because I think X-Scissor did like 74, so you do like 60-ish at least, and then the game's over because you just let Milotic die, and then you go back to Beanie Poison Jab win.
You let Milo die, and then you just come back in.
Yeah, so he does like 60 min at least with the fucking U-turn, and then he could have gone. Instead, he has to now go Lele, and let that thing take damage. Who also could have taken a hit from Charizard, even from I know because it was full. Like Lele's bulky enough. I think it takes one.
And then he was forced to Flare Blitz, and then Torn actually landing a Hurricane.
Landed a clutch Hurricane, and that's what you love to see. Woo, baby. That's what we're waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo. You love to see it. Thank you, Buxton. We finally have no more undefeated teams in D1. It is now Brady's race to lose.
Teams in D1. We just don't have them in D2.
Yeah. Oh, I meant in D2. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say D1 is the only division with an undefeated team. Harris, somebody's coming for you.
But by all technicality, you know, Brady does now control his own destiny in D2. So, you know, he plays ironically. So people are going to say his schedule was weak, but he plays these 5 people right here to finish his season. So we're going to learn a lot about Brady in these coming weeks. He plays Guns this week. I think he wins that. And I don't remember who he plays after that, but you know, I still see 9-2 as his floor.
He has the potential.
Yeah, this is. I've been saying it from the beginning. I think this is Brady's. Like I really believe in him. I think this is his moment to shine.
That's the reason I sent him that invite.
And the reason I believed in him. You know, after we fought and he reached out to me, he's a good ass dude. So I'm hoping nothing but the best for him. So yeah, let's move on to your game, Slink. Picking up. We're only covering one VGC.
Was that everybody in D2?
Yes. Oh, we have to do D2 transactions. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. There's so many.
All right, let me pull up the transactions real quick. Brrr.
Hey, but while you're waiting, make sure you check out the FBL merch. It'll be linked below. Get yourself a hoodie. Get yourself a sweatshirt. Get yourself a shirt. All right, continue, Slink.
Transactions that are going to be active come week 7. We have Brady dropped Garbodor and Drifblim for Roselia and Lycanroc Midday.
I think this is actually a W. I saw some people, have some sources around the league that were like, I don't think this is a good move. I think this is a W. I think it's a
good move. Accelerock going into Zardex.
I definitely think this gives him a lot less reverse sweep. Like, people don't get to reverse sweep him if he doesn't bring Raichu. Because that would have been a lot tougher for him. Zardex, I'm not revealing any, there's even a chance he doesn't bring the Lycanroc, but like, now it's not as threatening. Like, I really like this pickup for him. I think this is a good low tier for him that he can take advantage of. And Lycanroc Dust is not bad. Or not Dust. Oh, obviously that one's really good, but Day is not bad.
Way better.
If this was Dust, this shit would be broke. This team would be insane.
Yeah,
not a bad move. I won't lie. It's a solid transaction.
Then we have Buxton.
Right?
Yep. Dropping Espeon for Scrafty.
And look, he does lose. Technically, he has 1 extra point, but he had no more transactions. I think this is a W move. He picked up a better dark type. It's not just, relying on Linoon. The Espeon idea was cool, like to have terrain abuse and everything, but Scrafty gives him a whole nother dimension of status absorbing. It's not all on Milotic now. And when you have a Zygarde, I think that's huge.
He has a Shed Skin Scrafty. He also has, doesn't he get Intimidate?
He gets Intimidate and Moxie. All of its abilities are great. I think it gives him a ton of setup versatility where it's not super reliant.
It's like it could be a sweeper. It gets Dragon Dance.
Yeah, knockoffer. It can be really bulky. Like, Max Vizdev Intimidate Scrafty is fucking bulky.
Scrafty's kind of a crazy mon.
It's been on my radar. Because, look, his HP isn't great at 65, but 90 attack, 115 defense, 115 spit up. That is crazy good. Like, that's really good. And if you invest into that, it's really solid. I think this is a W transaction as well. I think Buxton has officially pushed the chips into the table. Before I thought he was like a low high tier.
He's going for the ring this season.
Absolutely, and I don't think it's his to lose, but I think he's at least in the conversation. I would be hard pressed to imagine him outside the top 4.
I think I'll probably call top 4 after we finish up with the transactions.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
at least I think it's going to be top 4.
Let's keep going.
Next is Chris.
Oh boy,
who dropped Swampert, Neolego, Mega Altaria, and Pissimian, and picked up Donphan, Tapu Fini, Mega Arrow, and Misdreavus.
This one's weird. I think it's a W because his defensive versatility is definitely a lot better. Before, it felt like it's all on Pharaoh and Swampert, and I've had that defensive core in draft before. It's not all that it seems to be. Like, it's hard to explain, but fighting like
the other thing we're not talking about here is that we know Chris knows how to use Donphan.
Yeah, this was the defensive MVP in NCL Season 2, and Tristan may have some words about that, but it was one of the best defensive Pokemon regardless.
Chris knows Donphan.
Yeah, this is a great mon for him. Tapu Fini, I think, gives him a lot of like I love mons that can switch into fighting and dark, and Fini can absolutely do that. So that's a great pickup.
Switch into a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it brings Misty Terrain with it, so it's just like, you're not going to deal with burns on Weavile.
Yeah, you don't have to run protective pads as much for like a, I know he has Zapdos,
you're not going to deal with like Paralyze on Victini or Toxic on your walls.
100%. Yeah, no, I think that's good for him. He gets Mega Arrow, which is good 80% of the time, and I'll always say that.
The other 20% is when Dual Wing Beat misses.
Or Stone Edge.
Or Stone Edge, yeah.
It's a very boom and bust mon. I think
it gives him a crazy speed tier though.
It really does.
Hard to match.
His speed, it's 150, 125, and then 100. It kind of forces anybody who
has like that 120 to 140 speed. It's like, okay, well, I have to run this mon Scarfed against Chris, or otherwise, Mega Arrow's just going to run through my team.
Yeah, and I think it gives him a lot of bulky options.
It just might.
Oh, 100%. Like I was going to say, though, like, Arrow can usually run a ton of bulk because it doesn't need all that speed. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he uses this. Because he used Pinsir super well, too. It had, like, 19 kills. Like,
he used Mega Pinsir really well, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, Chris.
Yeah, so if this works for him, I think Chris is back into that echelon
Chris is like a pro at using sleeper mons.
Yeah. But like, would you agree with me that Chris is probably the dark horse in D2?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Chris is making playoffs.
You're gonna die on that hill?
I'll throw my ticket in. I'll die on that hill. Chris is making playoffs.
Right now he's the 6th seed, and after starting 0-3, that's insane to think about. So what a turnaround by Chris, honestly. Like, that's incredible. And then we have a trade, right? I think that'd be the next one, or was it the Steph transactions?
Steph made transactions and then a trade.
Okay.
So Steph dropped Comfy and Crocodile and picked up Hippowdon and one of my favorite mons, Mimikyu.
Okay, I know it's your favorite, so I'll give you a chance to talk about this. All right. I think this is worse because he no longer has a Dark-type.
I agree with you.
I think Hippowdon doesn't do a whole lot more for his team that like Crocodile didn't. I actually think it's like worse. Mimikyu.
I agree with you on that point.
It's another ghost type.
I was gonna say Mimikyu is a better fairy than Comfy, but it doesn't fit on this team.
I don't even know if it's a better fairy than it's not a better defensive fairy.
No, it's not. Overall, it's better though.
I would debate you, but I guess that's fine. That's difference opinion. It's one of your favorite mods. I will not criticize you on that one.
Listen, NCL Season 3, I'm grabbing Mimikyu and I'm taking people to school. You saw me do it with Slacking. I'll do it with this one too.
I hate you. Anyway,
no,
Steph, I'm not a huge fan.
An
yeah. But you're 1-5. You did get a win, so you don't have to worry about that. No more.
There's
winless.
one more thing in there.
Oh no, he definitely he traded. I know this one. He traded Corviknight for Kartana. Look, I mean he got the better defensive steel type.
Yeah, well, I disagree with you on that one, but let's not get into debating, shall we?
Kart's cool though, because it's like who's switching
Gives
into
him a
low
really
punny Gengar, Kartana, Kyurem, Nasty Plot, Rotom Heat, Mimikyu with
It
as
also
like
gives you a better grass mon than Wormadam.
Also, I just want to say his Dark Resist on the entire team is Mega Low Punny. So, yikes.
The fun with knockoff.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It might be. I feel like this is Paul's week to get a win. We'll see. But yeah, it's an interesting trade. I would say Steph probably loses that just because he needed the bulk. I don't think Cortana does a ton for him. It's not bad, but I feel like you could have done better.
Either.
But on the flip side, Corviknight for Tay is weird. He now has 3 flying types. Ironically, only one of them, they don't really share a ton of weaknesses. They're all weak to electric. Only one of them was weak to ice.
But he has Seismitoad and Raikou.
Yeah. I mean, he's super weak to freeze dry.
Oh, what team is not weak to freeze dry, Mystery?
Teams that draft steel types that are now, flying types as well. But overall, I guess it's better because, I don't really know. I feel like his offense now, he's going to need Raikou to be, instead of being that fourth, kind of like that dude in basketball that, shoots threes and plays defense. Now you need him to be, distributing the ball. You know what I'm saying? He has to be part of the offense instead of just kind of like a role player. So we'll see if he can figure out how to use Raikou with Charizard Y being an MVP contender, then I think this has got a shot to be a playoff team as well. He's slipped the last few weeks. He started 3-0, lost. He's basically the reverse of Chris. And it doesn't get easier because he's playing now 4 straight teams I think he could make playoffs in Taylor, Noah, Guns, and then Buxton. So
I'm like I said, I want to call my top 4, and I think it's going to be Brady, Taylor, Buxton, Guns.
Okay, and then Chris, you said he was going to make playoffs.
Chris is going to be number 5. I can see Tay in playoffs, and then
I'm going to say Noah. I'm going to say Noah makes it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's those 6 for sure, and then I don't know who the last person
Blue,
is.
though, is already 5-1. That's going to be tough to miss. I don't really... D1 is weird.
I forgot about Blue. Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it's Blue in that spot.
Yeah,
I think it's going to come down to between
yeah.
Tay, Noah, and Chris for that final spot.
I'm putting money on Chris.
Okay. I would not bet against him. I think he's the dark horse in the entire of... if it's not...
Chris proved it himself in NCL last season that he is an absolute threat.
Yeah, he knows how to play Pokemon. 100%. He beat James. A lot of people are saying oh, James is just he's mocking with him and basically creating Chris. He's just like James 2.0. He beat James. That's a really impressive.
He also gave me 2 of the goddamn best games I've ever had.
Yeah, he's definitely a good battler. The only reason I beat
him in playoffs is because of Tangaberry's Arude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's it for transactions in D2, right?
Yeah, I think that's it for D2 transactions.
Now we finally get to my boy Slink. All right, so you played Jake this week. You were already down bad in the chat, oh fuck
slide.
this. Yeah, it was
I believe my exact words to you were, "How do I not feel like I just got spit roasted after this game?"
But shout out to you, man, because you did not just pack it in and say I'm just gonna kind of give up on this one.
I don't roll over and die. I'm gonna fight.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that as just as a Pokemon fan. But then you run Sunny Day Sleep Powders to get the Chlorophyll sleep on the Cinderace. That's huge. Land another Sleep Powder on Lapras. I'm like, okay, this is heat. And then Big Marrow's in. The reason I'm landing
so many Sleep Powder is I'm Wide Lens Vileplume.
I didn't know. That's heat. That's actually fire. Wow. And then you were After You, which is that's so cool. He gets first turn Wake on the fucking Lapras, of course. Gets the Aurora Veil up. 2 Pokemon took 100% that turn, by the way. Kind of crazy. Yeah. And then you helping hand the Marowak. He helping hands the Lapras. I'm like, oh Christ, it's really about to happen right now. And then doesn't Marowak live? Yes, because sun's up. And
Max
I'm like,
HP.
wow.
Max HP and sun's up.
And then you helping hand. He kills, I believe, through the rain. Yes.
Nope. I set up. No. I set up the sun again, and he.
Well, no, you crit the Celesteela. I don't know if that mattered though, because the helping hand.
It did not. I am max attack.
Okay.
I am in max attack. That Club Marowak is
kind of a beast.
That's 63% with a Shadow Bone through Aurora Veil.
Mm-hmm. And then you Super Fang and then Expanding Force, and that does it. So yeah, you pick up the game 1 victory. I'm like, oh shit. I think Jake takes game 2 just, knowing how I really don't think Jake gets swept. So
He
I'm
didn't just take game 2. He clapped my ass.
Yeah, so you lead to the same thing, which, to be honest, I don't.
So does he.
Yeah, so no disagreement there. But this time he maxes the Celesteela and decides, it's time to get rid of Vileplume. I can't let that happen
I just need
again.
to kill this Vileplume. It's like, all right, fair enough.
I think he first turned Wakes with Cinderace right after this again. But you max the Rhyperior. He does wake up, gets the U-turn out, which is kind of frustrating.
Gets some chip, goes into Lapras.
And then your Tailwind for Rhyperior, which is like, oh Christ. You went into the Celesteela, which I thought was shocking. I thought you would just go into the Cinderace slot, but whatever.
I needed that Celesteela dead. It was such a problem.
No, that's fair. And then this Rhyperior lives Overgrowth. I'm like, what the fuck?
Cowberry, clutch.
yeah, Pasha, you should have lived. It was a roll. Yeah, it was a pretty heat turn, and then that pretty much just ends the game. You were Bibiri as well, and then that does it. So at this point, it's tied 1-1. Thinking, all right, game 3, what's Slink gonna do to try and pull this back? All right, does he lead differently? Does he, what does he do? He leads Marrow Indeedee. I'm like, okay, I like that he didn't just try to go for broke with the same thing again. Foul. I feel like he hit that anyway. Maybe I don't know.
No, he was absolutely going for the Marowak.
Okay. And then that's it, 75. Marowak is such a beast, bro. Kind of insane.
I love this one. And then the follow me again, because it's like, I need to kill this Cinderace right now.
Mm-hmm. Muddy Waters doesn't do a whole lot. I know you're maxed, but yeah, in the sun. And then at this point, I'm still thinking, I'm like, this is kind of rough, but I forgot you have Vileplume, and I'm like, so he can after you. Celesteela is dead. I'm like, wait a minute, I think he's got this. Marowak lives. I'm like, oh, it's fucking over. It's time. And I think you kill the Goodra here. I'm shocked he protected Lapras, to be honest.
I didn't know what the other moves on Lapras were, so I figured it might have Protect.
And then it just died. And Slink, you pull off the 2-1. So how you feeling? Because that's pretty intense.
I'm feeling good not being on a 3-game slide anymore.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah. And so Jake and I actually talked about it, and there was, his team really did not have a good matchup against mine, because a lot of his setup options revolve around using priority, and I've got Psychic Terrain. He likes being fast. I have Trick Room.
No, and I get that the matchup wasn't perfect for him.
So it's my matchup
Jake
was kind of like a natural counter to him.
Mm-hmm. But Jake is really, really talented, and that's a huge W. I think the Sunny Day Vileplume was just so cool.
Dude,
and,
I'm
liking the team.
Boy Carl. Yeah.
Carl. But yeah, that's pretty much it for VGC, because we're gonna come back to D1 and D2, because most of these episodes, I know. Oh, great, music just came up on the screen. Most of these episodes, what we do is we talk, we have kind of a theme or just stuff we like to talk about that, like MVP candidates, that sort of thing. So for this week, I have a special. All right. This one is called Over, Under, or Stay Away. So in sports betting, you can take the over under on points, things like that, whether that be for the overall score of a game or for a player's points for a basketball game. All right, so I have 5 friends that are not in the league. I had them watch every single battle that has happened for D1 and D2, and VGC, but we'll get to that later. That's going to be in a second pod.
Guess what? Special episode.
Yeah, special extra episode. So you're welcome, because I'm staying up very late tonight.
You see what our boy is doing for you.
Yeah, I know. I put in so much work for this league. But anyway, all right, so Over, under, and stay away. So if you take the over, so say someone is favored by, if the line on a game is 2.5, that means so say for this Harris game, he's favored basically 3.5. Do you take the over on the score being he 4-0s Nova, or do you take the under being 3-0s or Nova wins? Like he 3-0s less or Nova wins in whatever, whatever score.
The over on that one.
Well, okay. But that was just an example because the over is higher. I'll put it that way. Yeah, let's get into it. So the actual over under, and then you can obviously stay away. If you were giving betting advice to someone, you would just stay away. Like you'd be like, okay, I don't know who you bet on this one because it's weird. The over under on this game is 5 in Harris's favor, +5 to Harris. So this basically, if you take the over, means that he has to 6-0 Nova.
But if it's the under, it's a 4-0 or less.
Yes. Do you trust Harris to get a 6-0 on Nova? I can give you.
Yeah, I
do. Okay, so you're taking the over. You're actually taking the over.
I have faith in Harris.
Okay, because I was looking at all of these. Obviously, I have them all written down next to me. I was looking at it and I'm like, I would stay away. I don't. It's really tough because Harris is absolutely good enough to 6-0 Nova, no question about it. Mm-hmm. But man, would I be shocked if it's a 5-0? Because that's just a push. Then it basically means nothing. But would it be shocking to me? Eon picked up 2 kills on Harris. Would it be shocking to me if Gyarados gets a kill randomly and then Excadrill? So
that's why I was just I'm trusting Harris's play.
Mm-hmm. So here's one that I think you'll stay away on. Jamal is favored by 2. It is basically, this is the only 2. Most of these are 0.5, so it makes it a little bit easier. But both of these were by single, just one number. Jamal is +2 in this game. I thought that was shocking. You got anything, or are you just thinking?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Well, while you're thinking, I personally, I would take the under. I think I'm gonna pick James for this game, and that's why I'm doing it. But if anything, if I was giving advice to someone, I would stay away. I think this is a pretty tough game. That's kind of what I'm
going. It's stay away from that one because it's James can pull out some random shit, and Jamal has not been having a great season. So 90% of the time, it'd be go for the over on that one. It's just stay away this season.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So then Robert versus technically Eon. This one, we technically don't have a real one because we just went off the Harris game because it's not really fair to judge Carboni for these games on Eon's behalf. So technically Robert is favored in this game by 2.5. Me personally, I took the over. I think I could very easily see Robert winning this 3-0. And that's not shocking to me at all. That's not a crazy high score. Eon's just getting back into it. He did take 2 from Harris, but I think Robert's a good enough battler where he could fend off Eon.
That's why I'm saying under is because I don't think Robert's going to lose. I just think it'll probably be a 2-0 or a 1-0.
You think it's close? Okay, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Then me versus Theo. Look, I the line on this one, all right, is weird. It is Theo by 1.5. I think this is stay away. It is so I don't know.
You're winning this under.
Really? Okay. Look. My record all time with Theo it's high. It's I think it's 13-1. I'm pretty sure. He says it's a little bit less, but it's somewhere in the ball. It's at least 10-1 at bare minimum. But my thing is Theo's battling pretty well this season, and I don't think he's gonna roll over and die by any means. This is the best he's never played better while I've actually played him. So I don't know. 1.5 is 1.5 is a pretty tough line to come back from. I personally, I'd stay away. I think that's a tough one to bet on. I wouldn't put money on that. Then we have Will versus Kyle. This one's fucking insane too. It's also 1.5, but it's towards Kyle, and I was a little shocked that that's what I came back with from the majority of people. I would.
I'm thinking. I know you're part of the anti-will regime, but I'm thinking under.
Yeah. I would also stay away. Stay away is actually really boring on this one because that's a really tough line to not stay away on. I'll take the over. I think I could see Kyle winning 2-0. Like, that's not shocking to me. These low lines are pretty tough either way because you have to really get it right. But I'll take I could definitely see Kyle 2-0, so I'll take the over on that. And then I don't know if this match is actually going to happen. It's Nick versus Nintega. The line is Nick plus 3.5.
Under. I don't think it's actually happening.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think it's going to happen. But if it did, I would take the over. I think Nick's just too good of a battler to let Nintega come back from that. But yeah, then we move on to D2. So let's go to our schedule. All right, so this is a fun one right away. Buxton versus Chris, okay? So the line on this one is Buxton 2.5. And that's a really, I'm like, fuck, that's a really weird one to try and figure out. I'm going to
stay the fuck away from that one.
That's the definition of stay away. I have no fucking idea. If you made me put money on this game, I think I take the over, and I just hope that Buxton sweeps Chris. Like, that's pretty much what I would.
I think I would probably just take the under, and
you would take the under and hope for a close game.
Well, Chris has been rocking it lately.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, minus the Steph game, which Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, we would both realistically stay away. If you hold a gun to my head, I would say you take the over. Slink would take the under. We've actually disagreed quite a bit, which I like. That's cool.
Yeah.
Then this one is also the same line. It's Guns versus Brady. This is a very anticipated game. The line is 2.5 for Brady. I would take the over. And look, I know I'm biased, but like. I think Brady's got his number. I definitely think he does.
I'm going to take the under and say Brady wins like 1-0 or 2-0.
Okay. That's totally fine. I like, would you be shocked? I think I know your answer to this, but would you be shocked if he wins like 4-0?
4-0? No, probably not.
Yeah. So makes sense. So this one is super weird. This is 1.5 to Steph, and I think this is like the biggest stay away ever because I have no. Maybe you take the under and you take Paul in this game, but like Steph Paul is such a weird game.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that one. If you put a gun to my head under.
Yeah, I think that's how I go too. Is gun to the head, you take the under and hope Paul wins. Because Steph 1.5 is way too like shitty of a line to try and get. Yeah. And then another weird one, because I'm really not sure. Noah's favorite in this game, but it's 2. It is +2. And it's like, maybe you take the over on that, but I guess you do take the over, because like,
is the Noah versus Hero?
I think at worst Noah 2-0s him, and then it's just a push and you get your money back. So it's like,
yeah, I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I would also take the over. Now that I look at it, I thought it was a little bit more weird when I was looking at it, though. Blue versus Aaron. So this one's shocking to me because of how low the line is. It is Blue by 2.5. I thought this would be higher. You would take the over?
I'd take the over. With the way Aaron's been playing and the way Blue's been playing, over.
That's shocking to see that Blue might be 6-1 after 7 weeks. I'm going to kind of be weird here and say under.
Anything can happen.
Blue just got pushed pretty far by Paul. I'm going to take the under and say Aaron pushes him pretty close again, like 1 or 2-0 at absolute best. So, yeah. And then this one is super fun. Tay versus Taylor. Actually, I have this in a different one because this is like I had the games of the week, or like potential games of the week. So this one's Taylor, 3.5, which I thought was kind of high.
Yeah, I'm thinking go the under on that one.
I think it'll be close, but like I believe in Taylor to win this.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Taylor's probably going to win this. I just don't think it's going to be like 4-0, 5-0, or 6-0.
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be like realistically a 3-0 or a 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 100%. So then I would... Yeah, 3.5 is a tough line. I'll be different. I'll take the over. You know what? I'll say that
He's gonna 4-0 Tay.
I think Taylor gets a win that is convincing, and people are like, okay, now it's really time to look at Taylor as like potentially winning this division.
Taylor absolutely has the potential.
No question about it. But yeah, I hope you like that, because I thought that was fun. I was like, I asked some friends to, pull that off for me. They watched a ton of replays, so I really appreciate them. And yeah, so that was over, under, and stay away. And I think that's going to end our episode today. We talked about a fuck ton of things, including a little bit of VGC. So you VGC fans out there, you're getting your own episode and a little bit in the singles episode. So no more complaining. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. Like, anything you want to promote or say before we go?
Watch the podcasts, watch the VGC division, watch the games.
Thank you.
And hey, buy some merch.
True. Yeah. Always be plugging.
Merch.
Always be plugging. Make sure you check out the merch store. It'll always be linked down in the description below. And yeah, we will talk to you later. As always, take care. Bye-bye.